What's up, guys? Today is day 233, I think, in our journey to 2000, which is pretty crazy. And in today's video, we're going to go over two games that I played 2 days ago that I forgot to talk about. Just very slightly go over that, and then I'll tell you guys something, and then we'll play a game. So, this first game I played after being tilted. And actually, this was a draw. So, if you see all the way in the beginning, this was just a regular type of Vienna game. And as usual, I got myself into a better position. Here, the move is to take the king, to check, and to pick up the knight. Now here, I could take here, I could take here, and this is already winning. I'm pretty much up a piece. I'm up 2 pawns. There's a lot of pressure on this king, which can't move, and this looks like a good game. But instead of that, I trade the queens, I trade this, and I see this as a target, which is correct. You know, I'm still winning. I move all these pieces forward. I'm playing a little triggered, 8 minutes, 42 seconds. I barely spent any time thinking. Thankfully, I get lucky. I blunder. I saw my blunder, but my opponent didn't. And the blunder here is that he can give a check, and this is just terrible. Very bad. I would be down a piece. My opponent didn't see it, though, so we continued the game. And I almost made a huge blunder here, not recognizing that... You know, I saw this and I was like, oh my god, how do I take care of it? And then I realized I could just take the pawn. And I'm just completely winning here until I'm not. And the idea here is that I'm going to lose this pawn, I'm going to lose this pawn. And so the best idea, I was like, how do I protect this bishop? How do I could just protect it. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. Well, I do. I'm not good at chess. But this would have been fine. You know? This would have been completely fine. Maybe I do something like this. And I have a passed pawn. I have an extra pawn on this side. He has this isolated pawn. This should be a win. But instead, the game results into this. I'm still winning for the simple fact that I have this passed pawn. But then I make this mistake of allowing him to get in. Now, even here, I had an opportunity, and things become a little tricky because this pawn is going to promote. But I play it incorrectly, pushing this king forward. What I should have done is go b8, I guess, to come here. I guess to help it promote. I'm not really a genius, but this comes with a check, and I guess this is the idea behind this. Now here, I could go to g8, he could push, I could bring the king forward, and the idea is that I get there before, I get there before he could actually do anything. Right, and you could see it right here. I could even check, and I could come here, and this is just losing, right? And I think there was a checkmate there potentially too, but I play it like this instead, and it becomes a drawn game. So that's what happens there. This was the other game I played. Also started off kind of normal. This goes into the Sicilian, playing kind of just normal moves in the Sicilian. I still don't understand the Sicilian too well, but we end up trading queens, and the game is pretty even, pretty dry, nothing too crazy going on, just shuffling pieces around, nothing crazy. And finally, I blunder. I'm playing super fast, he's playing super fast, and I blunder the position, and I'm just completely losing. Now, a lot of times I'm in a winning position, and then I blunder to a draw or to a losing position. In this case, I got a lucky break getting this fork, winning the rook, but I don't see it. A simple freaking fork I don't see. And this game ends up being a drawn game, even though it looked to me like he could easily kind of get out of all the checks. So for whatever reason, I drew that game, and I drew the other game, and then I ended up today playing a bunch of unrated games, which Pawn kind of suggested, and I think 1 or 2 other of you guys also suggested. And these I just aborted because I wanted to play stronger players, but it was just frustrating. I lost a lot of weaker players, and maybe I was just playing too fast, but that didn't help my ego. Anyway, we're gonna play a 10-minute rapid game. Let's see how it goes. So we're versing a 1701 rated player. We're gonna go into the Pierts, and this person's from America. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is already an unusual move for the Pierts. We're just gonna continue as if he didn't do that. Okay, and we see the Austrian attack coming in here. When the bishop comes here, typically the knight comes here, so we're gonna just do that. This looks really weird. I wanna develop my bishop, but if he attacks in the center, takes, the knight comes back. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. So we could attack the queen here. I think we're gonna do that. The bishop tends to be traded off anyway. We're gonna leave the bishop there for now. And what can we do? We can attack the center, takes. Wait, this could be cool. No, never mind. Let's fianchetto. I think at this point we have to attack the center. Or castle. Not sure. Or we could go h5 and then queenside castle. That could be an idea. The only problem I see with queen d7 is that the knight can come in attacking our queen. I don't like that, and attacking the bishop. But, I mean, for now, we do have this pawn here. Let's go h5 and see what happens. I doubt it's a great move, but let's see what happens. Okay, here we could bring the knight back. If he takes, we just take. Can the knight go anywhere else? The knight can come here, targeting this pawn, but that doesn't really do much. Let's just bring it back. I think we'll take here. Or, I mean, we're not forced to take yet. Maybe we push this pawn another step further. No, we should take. We don't want to let the knight to come in here. But now, this could have become a target, I think, if we opened everything up and took it with the queen. But now I don't see it. Like, takes. That could be an interesting set of moves. Or we could push this pawn further. Let's do that. But then this pawn move looks annoying. So let's... I'm not sure what to do now. Let's take. Take. Let's do it. It's probably dumb, but it looks so cool. Now we can take here. If he takes, we take. If he takes, we take. Yeah, this is not a great move, I don't think. You could tell he's playing triggered, and people who are always close to an 1700, 1800, they're always playing like this. Yeah, this was not good. All right, let's review this game. I think we made a mistake by taking with our knight, but let's go over it. So computer actually says we didn't make any blunders. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Played like a 2050 rated player. Our opponent blundered towards the end, obviously. We probably made a mistake there. Played with 83.7% accuracy. So let's look at the game. That was very fast, but interesting game. So this is what happened. We came... Okay, so attacking the center was right. The thing I didn't like about attacking the center right away is that it just looks a little weird. But looking at this now, we have the knight move coming here. This opens up a check. This also threatens to take the pawn here. If he comes here, that doesn't make sense. Computer likes check, c6, queen takes, king takes, and I guess this is gonna fall. Now, if he tries to protect this too much, then he loses the bishop, so that doesn't make sense. Let's say his bishop comes back, then we could take here. Computer also likes giving a check here, and then c5, which is a little weird to me because this becomes something that can be protected. So I don't really understand. But then computer likes knight f2, and the idea is what exactly? Winning the bishop. So this is a fork. So that's actually pretty cool. Now, if we look all the way back here, instead of hitting the center, looking at the way we played it, we didn't play any terrible moves. I figured h5 wasn't a great move. But again, I didn't like this because I kind of questioned in my head where this knight's gonna go. I saw that it could come back here, but then what, right? If he comes forward, I can just take back. If he brings his queen to a different square, we probably are forced to trade here. And I suppose we have something similar with the knight forking the rook and bishop. So let's look at what actually happened in the game. After h5, he attacked, the knight went back. Computer likes knight d5. Which I considered, but I don't really see where this knight is going long term. I feel like it can get trapped potentially, but I guess if it gets attacked, we can come here. Computer then likes h4, justifying our h-pawn pushing forward and opening up the king, I'm guessing. And then e6. And here, it's very kind of crazy and erratic, but that's what this opening leads to a lot of the time. Anyway, he had a miss here. His best move was going d5, which would have kind of forced this knight here or to the back. And after that, e6. And this is very clever because now my bishop can't take back. I might be forced to do something like this. And this does not look great. Actually, computer likes knight f8, counter-attacking this pawn. If I take like this, he could take like this with check. So knight f8 also protects this pawn. And after queen c2, this threatens to take the pawn again. Computer likes knight takes e6, take the pawn with check, and d7. So this looks like a crazy game. And white is winning. He has kind of more space, more easy moves to make. So h5 was clearly wrong. Computer thought castling was okay, but again, it liked e5 the best at this point. It also thought e6 was okay. I wonder, queen d7 I didn't like because I saw knight e5 potentially in the future, something like this, and then somehow getting here. And I didn't think I would be quick enough with castling. So something like, let's say like this, and just I'm gonna kind of, I want to see how it looks with this kind of positioning here. So okay, this is apparently an equal game. This is something I kind of saw as a potential road as well. But we played it like this. Somehow, how did I play it like a 2000 with all these moves? I took this knight. The reason I took this knight is because I thought if I take here, his knight will be able to escape, and my bishop is pretty much doing nothing there, which is something I don't really like. But okay, computer likes taking here because of this idea of winning the bishop, which is something I was kind of talking about, right? Instead, we go like this, and this move actually isn't bad at all, which is super cool. Computer says this is the best move, and the c-knight taking is the second best move. Now, the reason why I did that was because of what transpired. This fork seems pretty good. And here, computer likes bishop e2, protecting the rook, so that after I take, he could take back, and, you know, I'm just up 1 point of material. He has a bishop and 2 knights, and a pawn, and I have a rook, a knight, and 3 pawns. So I actually kind of understood this position fairly decently, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about myself here. Now, the problem is, for me, that if his queen becomes active, it's going to be very annoying for me. The good thing is, if his queen doesn't become active, I should be okay. So, for example, here, if I end up trading, I think white is winning, or it's equal. Yeah, which is correct. But if I end up trying to save my queen or kind of go to a different position, then I'm okay. Something like this. Let's say he just keeps developing pieces. I want to castle queenside. That's my big kind of thing. But okay, let's say he lets me. Let's say for whatever reason he gives me the opportunity to castle queenside, and I castle queenside, and let's assume he can't take this pawn, right? Okay, that would be dumb. Let's assume something like this. I just want to see. Okay, yeah, so black is in a better position here. And the idea in my head is that I can just attack the king side. There's the dark squared bishop is going to be powerful in checking the king. The queen is still alive. Maybe I can make use of this rook. So this was kind of the idea I wanted to get into here. But he resigned here because this is just terrible. This is just terrible. So here he takes, I take. If he takes, I take back. I'm putting pressure here, so he would have to do something like this. I would probably trade, and I have something like this, and I'm just up a full piece of material, a full rook. And here, you know, he could try to check me and stuff, but you know, what are you doing here? I'm gonna double my rooks. I have very clear plans here, and he kind of doesn't. So something like this, and I could start eating everything. Anyway, I do want to take one big lesson from each game we play. I didn't mention that, even if we win the game. So the big lesson I want to take from this position is this looks really weird to me, okay? So many pawns have been moved forward. And in this position, e5 breaking towards the center is apparently good. I want to kind of understand this more. Why is trading everything good? If he takes here, we saw why it's good, because the knight comes to g4. There's some targets potentially attacking the king, but we're also attacking this e5 pawn very strongly. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. Even though now the computer says it's a... Okay, well, I don't understand. Oh, well, this I guess makes more sense. We just take it right away. And if he goes back, we could probably take and check, and we're going to win the rook. So there's a lot of crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff here. I guess I didn't realize my king is not in danger at all because he moved all these pawns forward. And that's why taking here and kind of putting pressure here is a great idea. The knights kind of get in and do a lot of work. Okay. So if he took like this, this is kind of the way to view it. Now, another thing I thought of is what if he pushes the pawn forward? And here, computer likes knight e7, which makes a lot of sense. If he pushes forward, we just take. Probably have these two center pawns. Computer likes queen taking also. I guess I have to be less scared of ideas like this because, to be honest, this is not scary. This is weak, right? I shouldn't be scared. Maybe my next move is bishop g7, castling, rerouting the knights to kind of go towards the king side, or just open up the queen to come in. I'm not sure, but I think the big lesson here is to take more time to to actually calculate an e5 push. e5 takes. What if he doesn't take and he just pushes this forward? Then we could go to g4, attacking the queen, which we already saw. The knight comes in. And here we could probably take. We could take. And the idea is what? This is not scary for some reason. I guess the knight's coming here. Let's say he castles and the knight comes. Well, I guess then I don't know if I would want to put the knight here. Maybe the bishop comes here to protect this. Then he brings the knight here. Yeah, castle. Okay, and the game continues. So, lesson is really look at e5 in deeper lines to try to understand. Yesterday we learned h5 is a really nice counter to a kingside push. In this game we played it when it didn't really make sense. And today I think we learned, or at least I learned, that this e5 push can be done early on, especially with the Austrian, which I already kind of knew. But yeah, it's something to consider and to think about, because this is confusing stuff, man. This is confusing stuff is basically what I want to say. And here we see that we win the bishop back. We could win a rook as well. But his best move is probably to move his king. And wow. You could see here it's very hard for me to see how quickly you could open up lines with a pawn push or with a knight moving out of the way, giving the bishop, Fianchettoed bishop, room to attack. These are ideas in the pierce I need to kind of absorb more of. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it wasn't too long of a video, or maybe me rambling on was. Let me know if me talking is interesting or if it's annoying or whatever. And if you watched this far, say gold cannon, because that's what's on top of this, which is pretty cool. Which I got years ago. This is real gold. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great one. And before I leave, kind of secret bonus thing for those watching till now. I did the calculations. If I want to reach a 2000 rating by the end of the year, I need to basically win 2 games a week. So if I play 5 games and I win 3, or let's say I play 4 games, I win 3 and I lose 1, the net wins is 2. If I win 2 games a week on average, that's like 14 ELO points a week, then I can get to a 2000 rating by the end of the year. So that's kind of cool. You guys could do those sort of calculations for yourself and see what that looks like. It might be motivating, it might have the opposite effect, but yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.